Srimad Bhagavatam, text Canto 11, chapter 5, text number 17. Yeta atma hanos shanta agnane gnanamaninaha siddhantyakruta krutyavai kala dvasta manorataha. Yete, this atmahanaha, killers of the self. Ashantaha, devoid of peace. Agnane, in ignorance. Gnana, maninaha, presuming to have knowledge. Siddhanti, they suffer. Akruta, failing to perform. Kritya, their duty. Why, indeed. Kala, by time. Dvasta, destroyed. Manarataha, manorataha, their fanciful desires. The killers of the soul are never peaceful because they consider that human intelligence is ultimately meant for expanding material life, thus neglecting their real spiritual duties. They are always in distress. They are filled with great hopes and dreams, but unfortunately, these are always destroyed by the inevitable march of time. Purport. There is a similar verse in Ishopanishad. Asurya namate loka andena tamassurataha tamste Pretyavigachanti eke chatma hanojanaha. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets of known as the worlds of faithlessness, full of darkness and ignorance. So those people who are misusing their human form of life are said to be what is called as killer of the soul, because they consider that human intelligence is ultimately meant for expanding material life, thus neglecting their real spiritual duties. They are always in distress. See, why there is always sorrow, why there is always stress, why there is always pressure, why there is always unhappiness in the society, in the family, in the country, in the whole world, in that matter, for that matter. So, no matter how much we seek for the material happiness, ultimately we end up with the distress. That is the logic. Nobody can understand. Nobody is understanding that. It's only, Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, it's only the flickering of happiness, just not even a second, not even a moment. For that moment of happiness, people, materialistic people, are throbbing like anything. They're craving for that like anything. They're even ready to kill themselves for that particular happiness, for that particular unhappiness, which are going to culminate in the which is going to culminate in the in unhappiness. So they are filled with great hopes and dreams, but unfortunately, they are always destroyed by the inevitable march of time. So nobody even think of that Kala Sharpa. See, we have so many plans, we have so many schemes, we have so many discounts, we have so many strategies in our life. But all those strategies, schemes, and the proper plan and the improper plans, whatever we have in our life, will get ruined unless or otherwise you take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything will get ruined, as we are experiencing in our yester years, that when when we experienced COVID-19, that time we had lot of plans. We bought a lot of loans. We borrowed a lot of loans from the banks, from different financial organizations. But ultimately, we were not even able to pay our house rent, home rent, or EMI, whatever it is. So we'll have dreams. So I am owning this house. All these days I was not having house. Now I am married, I got a good job. Now I have borrowed loans from the bank. Now I have built a very big house. After this, I am going to bring one more 2 BHK house. All these plans we have. And big businessmen, they will have different, to the greater extent they will have the projects. They'll have different projects. I'll open that villa, I'll open this villa, these developers, and also the politicians, and also other organizations, the corporate sectors, they'll have different. They'll have plan that I'll open some more 3 companies, some more 4 companies. I'll have a network throughout the state, throughout the world, throughout the country. Like this, we have a lot of plan dreams in our life. But when it comes to the matter of Kala Sharpa, it will ruin everything. It will make everything into ashes. So that's all those things are what is called as the bodily concept of life. Everything is related to bodily concept of life. Keeping our body as a center, we are dreaming in this world where in which this world itself is going to get devastated at a particular point of time. So just like uh, a small boy jumping and jumping in the grapes orchard to get the grapes from that particular branch which is too high for him. It is not even accessible for him, but he keeps trying. Ultimately, what happens? Somehow or other, he desperately wants to get that grapes. But what happens? He breaks his leg and he goes to the hospital and get hospitalized. Same thing is going to happen for every one of us. Of course, we are not saying that we should not have a house or something else. We should have, but everything has its own limit. So if you cross that limit, then we forget everything, the particular aim of human life, the significance of human life, and what really Lord expects from us. All these things we forget, and we will be drowned in the ocean of karma. So it and ultimately, what happens for to reach our goal, to uh, target our plans, what will happen? We commit a lot of sinful activities, and finally we will be imprisoned or something like that, or finally we will not get what we have expected, and there will be a lot of challenges in our and a lot of reverses in our life. So when all these things happens, finally what happens? We commit sinful activities because we are not getting it. We are not getting it what we want it. So then we do some malpractices, or we go against the government. We do all illegal activities like Jamila, what it does. Then finally what happens? We will be driven to hellish planets where there are 28 planets are there. 28 hellish planets are there. It is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we will be put up in some particular department of hellish planet where the particular body has given so that we cannot die or so that we cannot live happily. That is called, the body is called Preta body, Preta Deha, so that we can experience the torture given by the persons in that particular department. Hare Krishna. So ultimately, in this Kali Yuga, a person has to do only one thing, which keeps away all the sorrows, miseries, and precarious conditions. But no person wants to do this because they think it is only a artificial thing, and only the old people will do this. Only after getting old age, then only we have to take up this spiritual activities. Now it is a time for us to enjoy. But Prahlad Maharaj says Kaumaram acharate prajna dharman. So we should follow dharma. What is the real dharma? What is our real dharma? The real dharma is to become servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna re Nitya Dasa. And we should always read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita from the lotus lips of the pure devotees. And chant the holy names of the Lord always. 24 hours we can remember Krishna. How? Everywhere you chant Krishna and everywhere you open up the preaching, you facilitate preaching opportunities for the souls so that they can uh, easily accessible to our spiritual comforts, spiritual facilities. In that way, you can always remember Krishna. In that way, you can never forget Krishna. Hare Krishna.